So we have a couple things that is going on in this code that is very interesting, stuff that we talked about quite in depth last week. We have an example of a for loop. Again, if you have difficulty understanding a for loop, I put together a diagram last week that showed each one of the components of a for loop being rolled out into a while loop. So you can think of a for loop just as a while loop, but with a special syntax that allows us to write in shorthand. The next interesting thing is that we're retrieving how many items are in our inventory by using the count thing or property. And that is one of the most common things you will do with collections, because remember, the product names collection can grow or shrink in size during our program's execution. So we need to know exactly how many items are in our inventory to perform this loop. And we do that with the count property. The next interesting thing that we're doing is we are accessing data from within our collection, but we're accessing it in a way that we are indexing it by providing this index variable, or this I variable, inside of square brackets, and that just retrieves an item out of the collection that is at the specified index. So now that we have this prompt written, there's one more thing that is going to be slightly confusing to users, and that is this index variable, this I variable, is actually zero-based. You know it's zero-based because on line 68 I initialize I to 0. That's great for programming and programmers because a lot of languages, including C#, start at 0 for their indexes for arrays and lists. But that's not how most users think. So what I can do here is another thing that I showed last week, where we can actually increment or add one to I in order to make it appear to the user as if the first item actually occurs on the index of 1. So just a nice little friendly thing for the user, and to make this consistent with the output of the previous program.